Statue Park. But hold up, what's that down there? Is that just a regular park? I see colors. I see red, blue, and yellow. What's down there? I want to know what's down there. Hmm. Oh, snap. What's this? Is that one of the ghosties from Pac-Man? Look at the fish. Ow. Trees. Just trees. Let's see. Where's the good nozzle? Okay, folks. Welcome back to Power Wash Simulator. This is the job before the last job that we're going to be doing. We are down to just 2 jobs left, and this playthrough will be complete. It's been one hell of a journey. I've rambled endlessly, but it does have to eventually come to an end. I told you guys a month or so ago I wanted to start wrapping up a lot of these ongoing forever playthroughs. I got too many playthroughs active at once, so. This has been fun, though. Just for, you know, on paper you think, Power Wash Simulator. Fun can that be? Well, here we are 50 some odd episodes later, and I've had a lot of fun. Fun on a bun. Two more left. And of course, like I said earlier, I will pick up, well, this is the DLC. That's what this is. Yeah, we finished, we got down to the last stage in story mode a long time ago, and I've just been waiting on it. Like, we'll do this stage, and after this stage, we will have finished all the DLC. Then we'll bounce over to the final stage in the game. Now, obviously, there's 3 DLC packs we're not going to do for my playthrough. I'm not touching the SpongeBob one. I hate SpongeBob. Then there's a Final Fantasy one that I don't care to do, and then there's a Tomb Raider one that I also don't care to do. I'm not going to bother with those DLC packs. There's also like a Wallace and Gromit, whatever that series is called. There's a few DLC packs that I would actually have to physically buy, and I can't be bothered to buy them. I bought the Back to the Future one. That was the one that was relevant to me, and we've done all those stages. So at this point, we're going to wrap this playthrough up with the last 2 stages, and then we'll kind of, you know, next time we visit Power Wash, we'll be on Power Wash Simulator 2. Of course, you know, I do have other simulator games to play. It's not all about the Power Wash at the end of the day. Look at all these footprints. I need to climb up on top of something and see just how big this place actually is. Kind of get an idea of how long this is going to take. Twitch drops. Twitch drop. You know, Lewis, who's often here in chat with us when we do the streams, he told me he got a Twitch drop one time when I was playing Minecraft. He got like a cape or something. I didn't know that. I never thought that I would be that, you know, a streamer that could actually be playing something that gave you a drop. We play a lot on Nintendo. I was happy. Made me feel good. Yeah, I think it's, I think about a year or 2 ago, I learned about the people would go into like the official Pokemon Twitch and farm codes for Pokemon Go and stuff. I've stopped playing Pokemon Go altogether. I turned the game on recently to get the Earthworm guy. I can't remember his name, Oathworm or something like that. But at this point, I'm only turning Pokemon Go on just to get whoever they've added in, and then I bounce back out. I'm officially done with that game. I'm actually trying to take a Pokemon hiatus right now because I am burnt the fuck out on Pokemon, which sucks because I have 3 active Pokemon playthroughs that I need to be about finishing. But I'm taking a little Pokemon break so that I don't, because I don't want to end up hating Pokemon, but I need to take a break. I'm burnt out. Well, see, that's my thing. My Pokedex in Pokemon Go is complete as it can be. I only get a new page when they release a new Pokemon at this point, you know what I mean? It's like they're just trickling out the few that are left, and it's really annoying. I've been thinking about what I can do with my YouTube channel to maybe gain a few new subscribers. I don't know what else to try at this point that's not YouTubery bullshit. Because I've been posting links on Threads and Blue Sky and trying to use the appropriate hashtags. And every day I wake up, the first thing I do is I go to my YouTube and I'm like, do we have any new subscribers? Oh, the number never changes. I'm sad. I'm a sad panda. Oh, you said, have you filled out the Pokedex of Pokemon Go? I thought you said you have to fill out. I had to look over and double read that just now. I have filled it out as much as I can. At this point, I'm literally just waiting on the non-release ones to be released, and they're just trickling them out. And I think they know. I think they're fully aware that the game is like dead or at least dying, and they're trying to do what they can, and it's not working out. I kind of expected them to announce that the game would be pulled in a year or two, but because like you notice that they didn't do anything for the Pokemon 30th anniversary. When we watched that Pokemon Direct they did back in February, they didn't say anything for Pokemon Go other than, and this year for Pokemon Go's 10th anniversary, be sure to look for way more Pokemon appearing in the wild. What does that mean? What are you going to release, the unreleased ones, or what are you doing, Niantic? Is Niantic even in charge of that anymore? Didn't Niantic like get bought by another company? I don't know what's happening. I bitched about Niantic on the show so much over the years. I can't be bothered to go into that again today. I'm in too good a mood. I'm in a good headspace today, and I'm not going to ruin it talking about Niantic's bullshit. Mr. Fish. Getting a Marvel Rose good television. Bleeding purple. I have no. I don't. I'm afraid I don't understand. I don't know what you're talking about. Oops. I don't mean that in a mean way. Like I don't really know what that means. Yeah, they were bought out by Saudi Arabia. That's true. Sure. Why is Saudi Arabia buying all these companies and electronics companies and gaming companies? I feel like I asked ChatGPT about that once and it explained it to me, and I don't remember what the hell it said. I think I remember the answer being bullshit at the time. I didn't believe it. To go back and well, my first mistake was asking ChatGPT, which I don't use anymore. Well, I read that ChatGPT got bought out by like the MAGA people, and I was like, well, that's dead to me now. And also, I'll say this too: we're not going to talk about politics, but this has been bothering me lately. So I wanted to tell you and anybody else watching this later on YouTube, if you're young and like you're not, if you're under 30, if you're under 20, yeah, if you're under 20 or we'll just say under 20, you've not lived in a non-Trump, non-MAGA world. The stuff that's been happening since 2016, it's not normal. This isn't how the world has always been. It's the Twilight Zone, and that's the best way I can describe it. To you guys, it might seem like normal because it's all you've ever known. It's not normal. Like, and I talked about this a little bit yesterday, but like, I'm exhausted having to constantly check every single person that I want to follow on social media. Whether I'm on Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, Threads, Blue Sky, no matter what platform I'm on, before I follow an artist that draws dinosaurs, before I follow a Let's Player that plays a Mario game I like, no matter who I follow, I have to click on their profile. I have to vet them, and I have to see if they're going to be MAGA garbage. We didn't used to do that. Like, that's new. That's not a thing we used to have to do. If somebody was garbage, they were garbage because they were just a terrible, hateful person. Like, politics never really came up before too often. Like, that's a new thing, you know. And see, I've heard people say that too. They don't give a shit if they're pro MAGA and stuff. You have to, because they're Nazis. They're literal Nazis. That's what I'm saying. Like, before 2016, yeah, I didn't really like conservatives and right-leaning people either, but I didn't hate them with the gusto that I hate them with today, because the ones that exist today are not the same ones that existed back then. It's a different breed. It's dangerous. But again, that's where we'll put a pin in that, because like I said, I don't want to get into too heavy of a political thing. Just trust the old folks when they tell you it ain't normal and it didn't used to be like it is now. Things now are really, really bad. Really, really bad. Back to Twitch drops. Which drop? Oh, you already told me which drop you were trying to get. Never mind. Oh yeah, you had mentioned in the last episode, Sakurai working on Smash. I'm pretty excited. There's a few things that I hope that they do. I hope they change Samus's costume back to her normal costume and get her out of that terrible Other M suit. They've been using that Other M suit for 2 Smash Brothers in a row now, and I fucking hate it. I want the blades to be back on her shoulder. I know that's a small nitpicky detail, but it's important to Metroid fans. Trust me. It's important. Yes, yes. While you're watching me do one long stream, each job that I do in Power Wash Simulator is cut into one single video and put out on YouTube that way. Unless the job goes over, like if we're stuck on one map for like 2 hours, then that gets cut in half and becomes two videos on YouTube. Yeah. Samus is a lot of people's crush in gaming. I am not surprised, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That is totally fine. I was just sitting here thinking, when was the last Tomb Raider game released? I don't even know. I have not paid attention to Tomb Raider in years. But you said Samus, and that got me thinking about women in gaming, and that got me thinking about, Tomb Raider. And I was sitting here thinking, I haven't seen Lara Croft in a while. I know they kind of did a soft reboot, or did they just straight up do a hard reboot? I know they redid her entire character model. She does not even remotely look the same anymore. Ah, they're making a new one soon. Okay. Yeah, I'm out of touch with Tomb Raider. Very much out of touch. You know what I haven't thought about? Now, I don't know if I've mentioned this in any of the episodes of this playthrough so far. You know what? I'm pretty sure I have. I'm starting to remember. How many of these places are handicap accessible? I think about that a lot. Like, I'm not handicapped. I'm not in a wheelchair. I'm not blind. I don't have any of those conditions. But I do think about that sometimes. I'll think about whether or not a place has Braille available on anything, whether or not places have ramps. I think about that. As a content creator who does visual content on YouTube and Twitch as well, sometimes I'll think about that. I don't really bring it up often, but I do think about it sometimes, and I worry, that I'm not doing my part to be inclusive, Maybe I'm not really, because I'm not explaining really what I'm doing. Especially with Power Wash Simulator, we kind of just chit chat about what the hell ever while we're doing this. You redid her character model. She's still hot. Not in my opinion, no. Because Lara Croft was always one of those like exaggerated character models. Like, it was ridiculous. She didn't even look human. She looked like a toy or an action figure. She never looked realistic to begin with, but that was kind of the fun part of Lara Croft, of her character, was she was supposed to be a bimbo, but in body only. She was supposed to be kind of like a bait and switch. She was supposed to be intelligent while having the body of a bimbo. Exaggerated breasts, exaggerated waist and butt and all that kind of stuff. Very sexualized, highly sexualized character design. And she's very much a product of her time, 90s, before the modern sensibilities we have today here in the future. But they did a new Tomb Raider game sometime in the 2000s, and they made her look more like an actual human being. That's fair. You know what? That's fair. I really couldn't tell you. But objectively, she looks more like a real human being now, and less like a pinup character. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I guess it's a preference thing. Do you prefer your Laura Croft to look like a toy or a cartoon, or do you prefer her to look like a human that could live in the actual world we live in? I don't have a dog in this fight either way. I don't care. But I guess it's whatever people want. Because they did the same. The only other character I could think about that got a hard remodel like that was probably they did a prequel to Devil May Cry where Dante was young and he looks drastically different than he's looks in the other games. But it's a prequel, not a reboot. So it's not necessarily a character redesign. It's what he looked like when he was younger. And I don't know shit about Devil May Cry, so I don't know how old he's supposed to be. I don't know how old his character is, and the white hair, red vest version. I don't know how old he is. I'm gonna assume mid late 20s, 30s is what the vibe I get by the character design. Same for Laura Croft. I have no idea how old Laura Croft is supposed to be. Probably again late 20s, early 30s. I would assume. I don't know much about those two franchises. I've only ever seen other people play them. I've never played them firsthand myself. Let's see, what do we got here? Home Sweet Home 2012. Through one's own toil, the home and homemaker become one. Darcy DRC. 2012. Okay, I have no idea who that is. I have no idea what. Eye of the Poor. The Eye of Porus. Are these real actual statues? This might have been like a promotional tie-in thing. Interesting. Okay. Hold up. The Eye of Porus. Was the eye of was the eye of ours ever for us? Pour us, porous. Oh, I see what you did there. Our vision of the holy is holy. Gaps in our perception prevent the manifestation of the vision. Darcy Darcy. Yeah, Porus. Wasn't Porus like an Egyptian god or something? Or Greek god? Something to do with the eye. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I think Horus, it has something to do with the eye. I don't know. I could be wrong. Hell if I know. I don't know. You know what? I could look it up because I have my phone right here and I'm not using it for chat. Hang on a minute. Now I want to know. Oh, I got a text message. Hang on, let me respond to this. All right, so nobody's Minecrafting tonight. Tyler and I are probably going to play some golf if we play anything. Just taking a break. I think Lewis is busy this evening. All right, so we're not Minecrafting. Okay. Now that that text is settled, porous. I think porous means that holes, I think. How's it spelled? Because when people say that like plastic is actually porous, it's not airtight like glass. Just continue. Yeah, there we go. See, I was right. Porous materials are substances containing miniature holes, spaces or vessels, porous that allow liquids, gases, or particles to pass through. Then what the hell was I thinking about? Porous? Is there a All I'm getting is a goddamn website. Hang on. Horus definition. Horus complex mouth. Oh no, that's a mouth part. That's not even anything to do with your eye. Okay. Huh. Okay, well, I don't know what the hell my brain. I'm stupid. Well, that's embarrassing. How embarrassing. Do. We're gonna pretend I'm not done. Horus. I think Horus is what I'm thinking of. That like one of the. Hang on now. I gotta look that up. Horus. All these Horuses. Horus. Yes, that's who I was thinking of. Ancient Egyptian deities is one of the most significant ancient Egyptian deities who served many functions, most notably as the god of kingship, healing, protection, the sun, and the sky. That's he's okay. That's where I was getting confused. Horus and Porus. I knew something was connected there. I knew I wasn't bucking up just out of sheer stupidity. Porous. Yeah, so like basically think about a plastic soda bottle you get from the store. It is not technically airtight. If it sat on a shelf for years, it would leak carbonation and the soda would evaporate because plastic is not 100% solid. It has holes, believe it or not. Something I didn't learn till I was an adult. I did not know plastic was porous. I really didn't. I did not know that. Greek mythology is tough. Yeah, Greek mythology is pretty cool. Tyler's really into Greek mythology. I think I always leaned more towards the Egyptian mythology, but now that I'm older, I think I lean more towards the Greek mythology. Egypt was cool for a little bit. You know what I learned just this year that I didn't know before? Ancient Egypt ran for so long that there were ancient Egyptologists studying ancient Egypt while ancient Egypt was still a thing. I kid you not. I didn't know that. I guess it makes sense though. Same with like dinosaurs. There were dinosaur fossils in existence millions of years old while living dinosaurs still roamed. It's like the T-Rex is closer to us than it was to the Stegosaurus in time. I think I have those two species correct. It shows you just how wicked our concept of time truly is. You know, we are not equipped to really understand the grand scale of fucking time. You try to explain the heat death of the universe to an average Joe, and just, I don't think they can grasp it. Or at least the two people I've tried to explain it to IRL are like, I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't understand. Like, you know what? I'm not a scientist. I can only explain it to you in layman's terms. And I don't know how much more simple I can make it. I'm an idiot and I understood it. What's not to understand? You understand entropy? Like, seriously. I'm a high school dropout moron. I understood what the fuck heat death was once it was explained to me. Sweet. Okay, Mr. Ladder. I think this job might end up being split into two. I can already tell. Because we are 38 minutes in and we're only at 35% complete. And it's because of the awkward size and angles on a lot of these structures, I think is what's going to be the problem here. Trying to get every little nook and cranny. We got to climb up. Yeah, Egypt's pretty tight. I like Egypt. Like, I've said this a billion times. I can't stand the Middle East. I hate it with a burning passion, but I do like Egypt. I try not to consider Egypt part of the Middle East. I will say I don't 100% think I played this game correctly because I don't remember ever using any of the soaps, which makes me wonder, did I take too long on some of these stages? Because I did notice that once we reached the halfway point in this game, a lot of the muck started not to wash off as easily. And I think you were kind of meant to start mixing soaps and using stuff like that. And I just never did. I always wanted to just straight up use water and power to make my way through. And now that I'm looking back with some reflection, since we're at the end of this game now, I'm kind of thinking, yeah, I was meant to use different soaps at different junctions to cut through different types of grime, and I just never did it. Again, I'm not the smartest person in the world. I just didn't think about it a lot of the time. You know what I mean? We're cruising along. We come across some grime that's not cutting through. You just get real close up in there and start cutting it. So it's just not something I ever stopped to think about. Hey, look, it's the gnome. Good guy. We hit 40%. Sweet. Okay, maybe if I quit yakking and being a slowpoke. Duck, dip, dive, or dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge. Ping, ping. We should do a speed run one day. See how fast we can clean some of these items. I might have to do that. That's a good idea, actually. I don't know if they'll let me use this nozzle. Dude. Three, two, one, let's jam. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. 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 Dun-dun, 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 dun-dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 Has anybody ever told you you're old? Yes and no. You, I think, pretty much. One, two, three, four, five, 1.1, 1.2. Is it because I'm singing the music to Cowboy Bebop? Is that why? Yeah, trust me, I can feel that I'm old every day. My knees feels my knees and my back. That's somewhat my eyesight. I can still see pretty well, but now I'm starting to have issues like if I try to drive at night, I'm finding that the headlights on the other cars are just too bright. Well, the key to not aging poorly is, well, not only taking care of yourself, but staying active. You got to stay active. The moment you give up and lay down, you're fucking dead. That's a universal truth. That ain't got nothing to do with your diet. That ain't got nothing to do with what country you live in. That ain't got nothing to do with your genetics. That has nothing to do with any X factor. That fact and that fact alone is true in a vacuum for all peoples everywhere, of just everybody. You need to stay as active as you can throughout your life. Asians don't age. I don't remember where I heard this, and it might be a little racist. I don't know, but somebody somewhere, and it might have been Family Guy, or it might have been a YouTuber. I can't say. They were like, "You ever notice how Asians don't age because they eat fish and stuff and take care of themselves, and they stay looking 20 until they're 60. Then all of a sudden, overnight, they look 112." I don't know. Asians do age gracefully. I'll give them that. I don't understand why white people age like milk. That is always like, is it a genetics thing? Is it something to do with melatonin? I don't understand. I don't know. I always just assumed it was a diet thing because white people don't exactly eat the best. When I say white people, I mean like culturally in history. I don't just mean average Joe Smo living in America who just happens to be a white man. Like I'm talking on a grand generational scale. I'm going to need to go get the ladder. Maybe. Well, yeah, I'm still going to have to get the ladder because I'm going to have to get on the very tip top of this sucker. Yeah, yeah, the whole black don't crack thing. Yeah, black people age pretty well too. Um, I don't know. I think it's part genetics and part just I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I couldn't tell you. But, you know, it's not rocket science at the end of the day. Take care of yourself. Don't smoke. Eat healthy. Exercise. Avoid stress. I mean, yeah, genetics will eventually, ultimately, fundamentally play the biggest role. You could run a mile at 100 years old. You know, you could be like 102 years old and still running a mile every day while, you know, you've got like a 30-year-old who is eats right, exercises, does everything right, and then kills over at random from a heart attack. So like you just it's about just trying to play your odds and hope that you didn't get shitty genetics. Hope and pray. Well, hope. Pray and don't do nothing. All right, I need me lighter. Higher collagen levels. See, there you go. You know more about it than I do. Wait, I'm a. I guess I could just kind of hop up here, huh? Now I've got the Cowboy Bebop music stuck in my head. Oh no. Okay, cool. So yeah, I could just kind of jump up here. Look at the sun shining off of that. What if that's all right. Maybe getting older. He is slowing down. The World War II veteran 100 participated in the Senior Masters Division at the pin round. Jesus Christ. Really? The track instead of world record. Cool. There's still World War II veterans alive? Jeez. Good on him. Good on him. Somebody protect that man. I always say that World War II is really, it's one of the only two wars in history that I approve of, that I would have liked, if I were alive, I would have actively like rolled up my sleeves and gotten involved in. Because defeating Hitler was like, yeah, I would have had to have done everything in my power to make sure that fucker died. The other probably would have been the Civil War, and I would have obviously, that would have sucked too, because I was born and raised in Alabama, which meant everybody down here would have been opposing. Everybody, I would have been opposing, you know, I would have wanted to fight for the North. Yeah, maybe the Revolutionary War. Okay, 3. And I don't know enough about World War One, so I'm not going to talk about World War One. I should know more about World War One. I should have had a proper education, but I didn't know jack shit about it. But yeah, Revolutionary War, Civil War, World War Two. Those I could have gotten behind. I mean, I'm anti-war in general, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean? Lord. Wait, is that a stairwell there? Hang on a minute. There seems to be a dip. Oh, no, it's just a... Well, yeah, that's two completely different sections. Okay. So if I do this, it might ping. Thought so. Yeah, I think this might turn into 2 episodes because we are getting close to an hour. And we are only halfway, give or take. %, 6%. Ooh. I do want to get up and stretch when this is over. I've not been a fan of the stages that have a lot of open ground area like this to cover. That has been tedious. Otherwise, this has been a rather enjoyable, refreshing experience. I've been able to jabberjaw and just talk like a lunatic. I've been able to talk about a lot of different things, get stuff off my chest, share some thoughts and opinions, share a bunch of hot takes. Piss a lot of people off. Do I know the significance of paper? What do you mean? Like just paper that you write on? I don't really understand. I don't know what you're asking me. We have so much history written on paper. Oh, yeah, I guess so. But I mean, like, what about it? You know? Shit. Now we have Word documents. Oh, okay. I think I get what you're saying. You try to make sure I don't go silent. Well, sometimes I need to rest because I've talked so many hours today. Sometimes I just want to breathe. I am starting to get very tired. I've been up since like 5:30 this morning. And I cut grass, bought groceries, ran errands, did laundry, did like 2 or 3 different. I think we've done 2 streams. I'm tired. Well, this is a cool looking. What is this? Is that like quartz or? Well, I'm sure there's a sign. Let's go find it. Well, yeah, I think all of these have a plaque or something. Here we go. Here's the plaque. Let's read it. You onion. We do not begin our journey as a gray and dull tabula rasa, blank slate, but as a glowing crystal of light, primed for a life of pure brilliance. Darcy, Darcy. Yay. Tabula rasa. Yay, I actually knew what that meant. I actually knew a thing for a change. Hot damn. Woo, I feel smart. I feel smart. I tell you what, I'm surprised that these earbuds haven't gone charge battery because I've been wearing them for a long time today. I'm expecting it any minute now. When I first bought these, they had like an 8-hour plus charge hold. Now I think it's closer to 5, 6, which is not bad since they're used every day. They've actually held up pretty well. They have exceeded my expectations, I'm not going to lie. That's why you can't skimp on everything in life. Like, we buy our groceries from Walmart because there's not really any other options here where we live. We don't have anything else as far. There's a Piggly Wiggly, but I don't like Piggly Wiggly. I don't like their brands. I don't like their prices. I don't like anything about Piggly Wiggly. They can go to hell. With that being said, when I go to Walmart, I'll buy a lot of their brand. Like, Walmart brand is the great value. I'll buy a shit ton of great value stuff. But in life, there are times where you do not skimp and you buy brand name. And I knew that if I just went to the Dollar Tree and bought generico, earbuds, I was going to regret it. So I went to the Best Buy app and bought 2 pairs of these JVC earbuds. And I got exactly what I paid for. Long-lasting, quality earbuds. And that's just a ringing endorsement in general. That's not like to champion any one brand name. I'm just saying, every now and then you got to buy something that's actually worth it. But then other times you're just buying a label or a brand name. And that's how I feel about buying. Like, if I go to Walmart, I could buy like Kellogg's cereal, or I can buy Great Value cereal. I got news for you. It's relatively the same damn thing. Same damn thing. Not a thing in the world is different. They both have to follow the same government regulations. Same product. One's just cheaper because it's not a brand name. Sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. Okay. Come on. There you go. All right, we're getting closer to 70%. Okay, we'll jump on this light, then jump up here. I could grab the ladder and the stool and all that stuff, or I could just do this. And be generic with it. The thing is, I say that, and then I kind of realize I'm going to have to get the ladder. Yeah. Oh my God, I missed this whole ass area. All right, come here, ladder. It's a good thing I came back for the ladder. I'd have been scratching my head later. Oh, 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 hold up, hold up, hold up. I see dirt. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to hide from me. Put you there. Walk around y'all. Oh my God. We're going to be here forever. Thought I heard talking. Yeah, I did everything today I needed to do, and I thought, well, I can bed rot for the rest of the evening, or I can actually do something, work on something. And I thought, I am kind of feeling a little, like I want to move on to some new games, play some other stuff. And I've kind of been inching closer to finishing up all these like pre-existing playthroughs. So I figured we're down to 2 or 3 stages. Let's just pop on another stream and do a stage or 2. I was kind of hoping I could finish this place up today, but we may not. I don't know. It depends. This place is deceptive in its size. It doesn't seem like a big place, big place, but it is bigger than you think it is. Are these cat prints? The hell, man? Sweet. Okay. All right. I gotta get this metal part too, don't I? Damn it. Have we seen any rust? Yeah, I think we have. Yeah, we have. We've seen rust. Okay, never mind. I don't remember where, but I distinctly remember we saw rust at one point. Germany food is pig slop. Goddamn. Tell us how you really feel. Authentic. Mecklenburg. Vorpommern. I can't pronounce that. Sorry, I got distracted trying to do that. Germany food is. I don't know. I don't know that I've ever had German food, like specifically. I couldn't tell you what German food is, other than like hot dogs. Some sort of. Don't they have some sort of hot dog thing? Eating cow shit. I didn't say that. I don't even know what authentic German cuisine would be. I'll be honest with you. That's kind of where my ignorance of comes in. I don't know a lot about different cuisine from around the world. All I've ever eaten is like American slop. I mean, obviously, I've been to like Chinese buffet places and stuff like that, but I've never been to a fancy dine-in place. And I've never had. There's a lot of cultural ignorance there on my part. I don't know a lot about foreign foods. Now, what is the deal with this? What have we here? Just like a wave. This looks like toothpaste. Somebody just made a statue of toothpaste. Lord. Okay, this one statue in particular. I don't know why, but I don't like it. It's aggravating to wash. This statue was not fun to wash. I hate it. There's something about this statue I don't like. Yeah, that's why I ended up going with pork dishes. Hard to find online. What's wrong with fish? I mean, granted, I'm not a big seafood person either, but now I'm hungry. Of course, I'm a fatty. All you have to do is mention any food. But to be fair, you know what I've had today? I had a salad, and later I had a banana. That's it. That's all I've had. I think I'm starting to get a headache, though. I may have overdone it today, folks. I may have tried to do too much. Classroom is in a portable, too, so it's very small. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Fuck it. Give them all food poisoning. Sent a lot of messages. Oh shit, you did, didn't you? Well, it's true. If you use fish, it's gonna stink up the classroom. I don't know that I want to eat something a bunch of kids made. No offense to you personally. I'm sure whatever you make will be fine, but you know statistically there's got to be one or two kids there that don't know what they're doing that's going to fuck it up and make everybody sick. Yeah, no, I'm good. That is a disaster waiting to happen. I don't know who thought that was a good idea. It'd have to be like a wine tasting. You taste it and spit it right back out. Don't actually ingest the food. I wouldn't. And it's not because I think anybody did anything malicious. I just don't trust everybody to get everything right 100% of the time. It's like fast food. Statistically, you've eaten spit, boogers, and other stuff without knowing it. As awful as that is. And hair. And sweat. And tears. Anything that could ooze out of somebody working in a restaurant, you've eaten it. And you're better off for not knowing it. Oh, Jesus. Here's where the fun part's going to be. Stupid little nooks I can't get into. Fuck. I'm so tired. I think I overdid it today. I think I put too much on my plate today, folks. Let me see if I can power through this. Power wash my way through this. Oh, of course, my goddamn ears gonna start itching like a son of a bitch. Ah. Ah. See if we can start doing this faster. I really want to make one episode out of this. Oh no, you're good. You know how it is. You're trying to read and keep up the chat, but also, actively do this. So I read what I can. I try to read everything, but every now and then something's going to get a little lost. It is what it is. Yeah, at this point, I'm ready to be done for the day. I am tired. Tired. We're almost there. Oh, Lord, what the hell are you? How did I just skip you altogether? Is a cat? Some sort of critter? You're going to make me get a ladder, aren't you? You damn bitch. Come home, Seymour, 1997. You flew high, Seymour, all the way to Akenshaw. Why have I never seen you since? You who now know all I made you and gave you purpose. Return to me. Okay. Ladder. Did I ever actually finish this structure? I think I did. Yeah, we did. Okay. Oh, it just dawned on me. I never read this. My bad, y'all. The Fraught Process, 2020. The mind gurgles and burbles. Burbles? Gurgles? Gurgles and burbles. But where there's bubble, there's trouble. Where there's froth, there's sloth. Then along came a pop and all was forgiven. The fuck? I hate this place. I am way too tired for your artsy fartsy bullshit. I will get back to that cat statue in a moment. Let's we'll knock this out while I'm crouching. Hot damn. Knocking it out indeed. We'll just be down to the last statue after this. Focus there. Goddamn. Dropping multiple ladders on me. They knew I was going to need it. Laura dropped. Matt Pat is on his toes right now. What? Didn't Matt Pat retire? Oh, is that just a rumor? A game rumor. I am not apologizing. That was as cringe can be. Fuck this goddamn thing. Is this an art installation or just a bench? Am I supposed to park it here? Huh. So I need to look and make sure I'm getting in between the base and the... Oh, Jesus. No matter how thoroughly I think I've cleaned something, there's always a damn spot. You're full of shit, Fry. You make a persuasive argument, bro. Okay, goddamn. Okay, let's kill off this cat real quick. And then we can focus on that son of a bitch over there. This is a cool statue, though. Ta-da! All right, here we go. Home stretch, everybody. 88 miles per hour. Let's do this. Get excited. Come on, get hyped with me, everybody. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's do this. Let's do this. Keep Eric awake. Keep me pumped and excited, so I don't just quit and walk away. We used to do that at my my last job, actually, because it was such a labor intensive job and we were on our feet the whole day. That last hour or two, everybody would be like, come on, we're almost there, just another hour. And I think we would start at like 2 hours in and we'd be like, all right, just 2 more hours, just 3 more hours, just 2 more hours. All right, 30 minutes. We'd be counting down, just 20 more minutes, just 10 more minutes. It was miserable. We had to make it fun the only way we could, you know. We'll go home, get us something to eat, put something on to watch, chill before bed. We drag our carcasses back here and do this bullshit all over again tomorrow. Why, capitalism? Why? It's bullshit. Better than communism. Yeah, I suppose. Here's the thing, though, like, and I don't mean to sound like an asshat, but if they didn't have to make it extra and they didn't have to do all this extra bullshit, then I probably wouldn't have a problem with capitalism in a vacuum. Like, the idea of getting up every day and working and being productive and being a member of society and getting paid for my labor in a vacuum, that's all fine, well, and good, you know. Let's say I'm a farmer and I produce X amount of produce or milk or whatever on my farm. I trade you those goods in exchange for the goods that you make every day, or your time or your labor or whatever. So in a vacuum, I'm cool with that. I think that, it's kind of ideal. Get up every day, do something that helps somebody, and then in return they do the same. Like that I'm fine with. Whenever I've ever bitched about like capitalism and stuff like that, I don't mean it as black and white as it probably comes off to some people. I mean like unregulated, unfettered, runaway, late stage capitalism that we have going on now, where everything is broken to all hell and the system is rigged, only caters to the super rich. That's what I don't like. I still think it should be as simple as like, I have some apples. Would you like to buy an apple? Yes, I would love to buy an apple. Here's the money. End of transaction. Credit scores, Wall Street, investing, all of that stuff. Chasing capital, chasing untold amounts of wealth and hoarding it. It takes a special kind of loser at the end of the day. You're just saying that because you're poor. No, I'm saying it from a morality standpoint. Uh, you have all that money and you're not helping anybody. I help all the time. My company donates and I donate and blah, 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 blah. No, you're still a huge piece of shit. You could, if you tried, solve so many of the world's woes. You choose to hoard. That's a choice. Fuck you. That's like those dude bros on YouTube who are like, who chase wealth, status, clout, women, cars, mansions, Rolexes. They're always talking about how they have money and they have this, 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 and this. I have secondhand embarrassment for you. The fact that you think those are positives. Hear me out. I'm going to be the first non-crooked millionaire. Well, see, the problem is not that you're a crooked millionaire. The problem is that you're a millionaire. No one single human being on earth or in existence ever can physically produce by themselves as one single person enough labor or worth as a person to generate millions of dollars. Like, it's just, there should be no such thing as millionaires, billionaires, etc. That shouldn't be a thing. Everybody should, at a certain point, realize they have enough and maybe, try to do something else with their life. I don't know. No math. Yeah, I'm getting pretty damn hungry. I'm going to have to eat a bite. I never understood what the whole gnome thing was about in this game. Let me read this. Hang on. Man of 1,000 Faces, 2019. You have 1,000 aspects, all of them facing inward. Come outside sometime. You might even enjoy yourself and see what I've made. Who the fuck? Who is Darcy D'Arcy? I don't feel like Googling it. Like, I'm using all of my energy I have left to finish this. You can find my ladder. Damn. All right. Hey, we've hit 99%, folks. Hot damn. Hot damn. Okay, well, how am I supposed to? Well, this is kind of huh, kind of hard to. Well, I guess if I do it that way. All right, we'll just have to move the ladder around. And there's a lot left up there that I didn't even notice. Well, how the hell am I supposed to get that? Maybe I can do it this way. Because I keep trying to climb up to the top here and I keep falling. Although this is kind of working. Hell yeah, here we go. Come on. Pop. Son of a bitch. Oh, I missed his foot. Oh no, what did I miss? Oh, god damn it. Okay. Gnome sculpture lights. Oh. Yeah. Where's the plaque? Oh damn. Large platform trims. Okay, so we're down to just these platform trims that I still don't know what they are. I don't know. Large platform trims. 9 of 10. Okay, that tells me that it has to be this sumbitch right here. Because that's the only thing with that many parts out here. Huh. Does it mean this red thing? Everybody look close. Platform trims. Platform trim. What the hell is a platform trim? Oh. All I know to do is start blasting shit with water. Oh, son of a bitch. Oh, platform trim is exactly what I thought it was. I just wasn't finding. Well, that was awful there at the end. Jet Smith, is that my name? Darcy, Muckingham Recreation Ground. Jet Smith, you have cleared my work, cleansed my work, and with it my very being. If you gave me a cucumber sandwich, I might not eat it. But were you to put one in my hand, then take it away, I would snatch it back and eat it as if it were the last sandwich on earth. Still, I wonder, is the work complete? Perhaps it has lost something through its cleaning. Perhaps. Perhaps. Perhaps.